Have you guys ever had the notion of buying a product and thinking that it's going to be something amazing and turns out to be something completely opposite of what you expected? So I've been daily driving the Z Flip 7 for a couple weeks now, and it surprised me in many different ways, to the build quality, the cameras, the battery, and this new Exynos chip. But with every new iteration, there's always a corner that they cut, or with every new upgrade, there's a downgrade. So this is my quick review for the Z Flip 7 and to see if these new foldables is actually worth the purchase. So starting off with battery. So I try to lean away from charging this phone overnight, as I do with most phones, but I always make sure my phone's on 100% right before I go to sleep. So when I wake up, my phone will be 96, 97% charge. So as you can see here, by the time I get into my car, my phone is at 93%. So that's pretty decent for overnight. Just remember, this battery test is the way I used it. It was out in the elements, putting this phone completely through a stress test. So taking videos and pictures, especially videos in log, and taking pictures with the 50 megapixel camera definitely would take a toll on the battery. So keep this in mind. Also, with this whole new model, the battery definitely got a little bit of a spec bump. It went from 4,000 to 4,300 milliamp hour battery. Tell me that lobster roll does not look like a beauty. A nice little cold Samuel Adams. Alright. Nice. A little bit more. Alright guys, let's go for this first bite because this is looking huge. Look at this thing. Oh, some of it, yeah. I need to take some of this off. Look how ginormous this thing looks like. Wow. All right, let's go for the first bite. Wow. And the lime just gives it a little kick. 9 out of 10. So I've heard a lot of good things about Tuscan Village. They have a little market here, they have a little drinking area, eating area outside, but they also do throughout the day. They do kid events, they do paintings, they do movies, they do a lot of things here. And this is my first time I came here. I was referred from one of my buddies, and yeah, the experience is actually pretty good. The scenery is amazing. Everything is just clean. It's definitely family orientated here a little bit. Oh, look at the bee wants to get into the picture. But yeah, besides that, I give this place a nice 10 out of 10 just because you have everything around. There's a mini mall right around the corner. There's a lot of places and shops that you can eat at, buy clothes. It's like a nice little market area, but more family orientated. The food is amazing here. And to be honest, nobody has stopped yet and asked me what I've been doing with the camera, just in front of my face like this. But yeah, now let's get back to the review. Never gets old. So this is like a camcorder mode, as you guys can see, but I'm doing it in log. Log is a little bit different than regular video. Log captures more of the sharpness, more field of view a little bit, as you guys can see. But log is more like, it comes out more as a grainy picture. But when you put the colors back into the video, it enhances it a little more. So this mode is better than regular video because you could put your own LUTs, your own colors, put everything right back, and it enhances the video a little more than regular video. Oh, All right, guys, we just got back into my car right now. Let's see what percent my phone is. So it's at 67%. And you can see we've been putting this bad boy to work, and this phone's a little toasty. It's a little warm. So let's give it a little chance to cool out. But you can see we've been putting this bad boy to work today. So let's talk about the Z Flip 7's all new cover display. This whole new look and almost bezel-less front display looks amazing. And with the whole new bezels, a 1.25 millimeter, it gives it a whole new look. More sleek, clean, edge to edge. I'm definitely feeling this whole new cover, especially now that the front cover is 120 hertz. Yes, guys, coming from a 60 hertz in the prior model, and it just feels like a brand new phone. It is a brand new phone. So the cover display went from a 3.4 inch to a 4.1 inch cover display. That's an amazing upgrade. And I'm just digging the whole new edge to edge look. One thing that's a good and bad thing for me is the volume button and the power button. So when I'm holding the phone with just one hand, it's a little uncomfortable where they have the volume rocker and the power button. It's positioned a little high, so I kind of have to shimmy my hand to the top of the phone to press the volume up or the volume down, which is annoying, but I like to position it when it's closed. So it's like a positive, negative thing there. So with this all new Armor Flex hinge that is nearly 30% thinner, allowing the phone to close with no visible gap and a thinner profile. And with this whole new thin profile, it definitely helps you against dust and pocket lint getting into your phone while you have it in your pocket. And by the time I got back and put in this phone through the craziest stress test I ever had, it should have been at 8%, but I did top it up a little bit in my car and it got up to like 19%. So let's get into cameras. This is where it's a little iffy for me. With a price tag of almost $1,100, that's flagship money. So with this phone, they should have given the same camera setup they had in the Edge and threw it on this one, because these pictures are okay. The only thing I can say with this phone that actually is something that I will use is log. So like I said in my previous video with the Z Fold 6 versus the Z Fold 7, it captures everything in a wider dynamic range. It keeps the shadows more true to black. But to certain people, it looks a little weird. It's like gray washed a little bit, but you can put the colors back, and I tell you, but this feature is next to none. It's an amazing feature, and I think every phone should have it. But besides that, the pictures and videos are okay. They're decent. One thing I do like about the Z Flip 7 versus the Z Fold 7 is how you could prop it up and take videos and pictures. You can use hand gestures to take pictures. I just like how it's like, I feel like this phone is made for more content creators, not for a regular consumer, because of the features it has. It's giving a little content creator vibes here, guys. But I'm digging it. I think it's awesome. So this is not a sponsor to my video. I just really love their cases. This is the whole new Spigen Tough Armor MagSafe case for the Z Flip 7. And I like how it's done. It has a kickstand on the side, so you can prop it up on the table. Shout out to the stickers in the back. My daughter put that there. I'm not sponsored by them. I just really like their cases, and I thought you guys should check it out as well. I'll link in the description below so you guys can check it out. There's other ones there. There's a see-through. There's other different colors, but I definitely like how they make this case. It feels perfect in the hand. It's not too bulky, and there's a cutout for the fingerprint and the volume rockers right here. I like how it's clicky as well. But yeah, and for a lot of people out there, I know the crease is a deal breaker, but it's there. You don't feel it. You could see it sometimes. You hardly notice it. It's really not there, only when the light hits it. But besides that, when you're in your house, consuming content, watching videos, you don't really notice it there. Even when you run through your finger, it feels like it's non-existent. Like you can feel it slightly, but not too much. So with the Z Flip 7, it actually dims a little more faster than the Z Fold 7. As you guys can see, I have adaptive brightness on right now. And then look at what the Fold 7. I know people would say it's because of the background, but no, if you have it both in front of your hand, it dims a little more faster, and the Flip gets a little more warmer than the Fold, especially when you're outside exposed to the sun and doing a lot of video watching, gaming. It dims real quick and it gets hot to the touch. So keep that in mind. So with all these new foldables that Samsung has been releasing, they've all been pushing AI really hard. And like I said in my prior video, I'll link that below. So lately I have been using a little more of the AI feature on the Z Flip 7 because I think it's a little more tastefully done than the Z Fold 7. Everything's easier is in the front. I like the little new animations just on the front. I mean, it's still the same thing in the inside, but I feel like it's more tastefully done in the outside. I still don't use it a lot, most of the AI features. I do like how it feels a little more seamless in the Z Flip 7 than the Z Fold 7. So let's get into the whole new chip because this is where it gets a little iffy for me. So last year they had the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 for the Z Flip 6, and this year they changed to Exynos. And we know with the prior models that the Exynos don't perform that good, especially overseas. They get the Exynos with the Galaxy S series, but with this whole new Exynos 2500, it's a little bit better than the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. I mean, it's not by a lot. It's probably like 2%, 3% maybe. You can't even tell the difference. I've seen in certain people benchmarking both of them and it's really similar. They're neck and neck. Just like the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, this chip performs good. It doesn't break a sweat, especially in power hungry games in Zenless Zone Zero. That name still gets me every time. It performs amazing. It doesn't have a hiccup or anything. But what I can say is that just like the Z Fold 7, the Z Flip 7 does not have a vapor chamber, and I tell you, this thing gets hot. Especially the top half where the front cover display is because it has both displays there. I feel like it heats up a little more just in the top area. The bottom is cold to the touch, to be honest, most of the times. So yeah, there's that. One thing I love about this phone is that it's portable. It fits in your pocket perfectly. Sometimes I forget that I even have it on me. That's how small it is. I put it in my back pocket and I think it's my wallet, and I look around to see if I've dropped it, lost it, left it in my car. Come to find out it's in my back pocket. It's really light as well. I definitely like the form factor compared to last year. Last year's model was more narrow and long. It kind of reminded me of like a Hershey's chocolate bar. But with this new iteration, it's a little shorter and wider, so it feels better in the hand. I definitely got a little bone to pick with the Z Flip 7. One thing that's been really bothering me with this phone is flex mode. So when I prop this up on a table and the little symbol comes out in the corner, and while I'm in YouTube and I click it, it would force close, pause it, split it, and then I have to re-click the button again, zoom into it. It's way too much. Samsung could definitely fix this little bug in a new software update, but that's one thing that's been bothering me because in the Z Fold 7, it works perfectly fine. It doesn't jump, no jitters, nothing. I don't know if it's because of the Exynos chip or a bug, but Samsung fix that because it's annoying as hell. Another thing that bothers me is that instead of Samsung letting all the apps run through on the cover display like the Motorola does, they're encouraging you to get another app and pick every single app you want to run in the cover display fully, one by one. You have to pick the apps that you want in a folder so it can run in the cover display. To me, I feel like that's a little lazy. They could definitely fix that. Also in the software update, one thing that really irks me when it comes with this phone is that when I'm using it in the cover display, as soon as I click in the app and I click something else, it'll tell me to open my phone to use it in the inner display. And that really annoys me because if my battery's low and I don't want to use the main display, I want to use the cover display, I don't want my phone to tell me, hey, stop using the cover, use your main display. And for most consumers that don't know that they could get good luck, so most of the apps can run correctly in the cover display, Samsung should allow all apps to be used in the cover display. So I say definitely in a software update, let all apps run in the cover display, because for a phone with a flagship price, that's unacceptable to me personally. Now, the real question is, who's this phone for? I think if you're a content creator that loves doing reels, shorts, this phone is definitely made for you because you could prop this up anywhere, hand gestures to take pictures. Videos are easier to make because you don't have to have a stand. You could just prop it up anywhere you want. Because with this hand-free functions, it would work amazing for content creators. But if you're coming from the Z Flip 6 to the Z Flip 7, I still don't think even with the new cover display, it's not enough to upgrade, because the Exynos 2500 versus the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, they're similar. They're pulling up the same numbers almost. And even with that, the Z Flip 6 doesn't heat up as much as the Z Flip 7 because there's a vapor chamber in the Z Flip 6. Because with this whole new form factor, they had to remove it in the Z Flip 7. Besides that, I don't see enough big upgrades for you to jump from the Z Flip 6 to the Z Flip 7. I mean, the crease is less noticeable. The Exynos and the Snapdragon are almost similar. The cameras are exactly the same. They didn't change anything. There is log in the Z Flip 7, which it is an amazing thing to have, but it's not enough to upgrade for me personally. And with this price being $1,100, that's flagship price. So I definitely want flagship cameras. A phone that doesn't overheat. I'd rather have it a little more thicker with a vapor chamber than this thin form factor. But tell me in the comment below if you guys think that this new iteration was enough to upgrade from the Z Flip 6 to the Z Flip 7. And I know guys, it took me a little bit to make this video, but it's because I wanted to main this phone, and I don't want to be that reviewer to only have this phone for a week and be like, hey guys, this is how it is. No, I want to give a good review and actually push this phone to the limit and actually have it get used to the routine and actually see what this phone can do. But like always guys, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you guys can be notified as soon as I release my latest video. And also guys, follow me in my socials. I'll link them in the description below. See you in my next video guys. Peace.